friends, it's Nancy, and we're back for part 7 of the sewing themed junk journal craft along. We finished the tea-dyed plain papers, and now we're moving on to the assorted other papers, starting with scrapbook paper. So these scrapbook papers I have cut to about 6 inches high. They don't need to be the full length. This one is page 34, 35, page 40, page 41 of the TN size, for the TN size, I should say. And this one, which is a little wider, but still only about 6 inches tall, is signature 3, page 3 and 4, 21, and 22. So we're going to start off by adding a tab to page 34. Got a little piece of paper, or sorry, not paper, fabric. And this is vintage fabric, actually. This is from my, what do you call it? Feed sack fabrics. It's been a little raggedy because it's been through the wash, so maybe I'll just touch that up a bit with my scissors. Looks like this was cut a little cockeyed as well. As I record this video, it is cold. But hopefully now, this is the 7th of May, hopefully we're well into some spring type weather. So I'm just going to tack that down. You know, it wouldn't hurt my feelings to put a little lace there. Let's see what we've got for some lace. Just knocked a bunch of this off. Gotta pick up my mess. Okay. That's a little too big. What about that? No. Maybe I shouldn't use crocheted lace, because you wouldn't use that in sewing fashion. You would use other lace. So maybe I will skip that and go to my little bowl of goodies here. Back where you came from. Okay, that'll be good. I also switched out my thread in my sewing machine to black. Now, on this side, I want to add a pocket. So I've cut a piece. It's about 4 inches tall and about half an inch, or sorry, about a 1/4 inch smaller. I think I'm going to wait on this. Let's do the other side first. On the back, I'm adding a lace pocket. Whoops. I'm also chucking everything all over the place. I won't cut it quite perfect yet. I'll just sort of size it down a smidge so it'll be easier to work with. Just going to square off the bottom. And I'll tack it down. I'll tack it down with a little bit of glue. All right, so what I think I'm going to do is stitch around the pocket and then glue it in place. And I'll stitch across the tab and I'll stitch around the pocket. Hold on. Okay, got that part done. Sorry. So I want to add some buttons to this tab here. It might be button, it might be buttons. Gosh, there's a nice big one. Do like that. And here's one that's black and white. That one's kind of... Ooh, I like this one too. So this one's sort of got a geometric etching. I think I'm going to go with that one. No, I'm not. I'm just going to tack it down. And let's get it stitched. If I can make things complex, I will. I wanted to use 4 strands of plain sewing thread. I should have gone down and got my embroidery thread, but I'm lazy. Just plain lazy. Okay. Now, the pocket, I just did a plain stitch around the perimeter. I'm going to glue it in here, and I think I'm just going to glue on 2 sides so it's easier to get things in and out. So I'm using Fabri-Tac. For no particular reason other than it works for me. So I've sort of centered it in between the stitching that's around the lace pocket on the back, which I zigzagged. So that is that. I will finish off this by adding a button, and then I will have both. I'll have both pages done. Let me clear off the desk and we'll get working on the next page. Okay, next up we're going to use dictionary page. So in the TN size, the Traveler's Notebook size, we have page 28, 29 and page 46, 47. Let me double check that. Where's my book? It's 47. Oh, Nancy. $47. In the other journal, it will be signature 1, page 9 and 10, page 15 and 16. I'm just leaving the rough edge. I like how that looks. There won't be anything too startling on these pages, so I'm not worried about the paper itself. It's not a bad paper. I don't think it's all that old. But what I do want to do is I want to make a double tag to wrap around that page. So I've got this book page. It's actually like a fly leaf from a book. It's got some printing on it that I think I will be able to cover up. And I'll cut this. Just square it up. And then I'm going to cut it in half so I can use one for one book and one for the other. So this is 2.5 plus 3, so 2 7/8 wide. The other side is just plain, oh, I was going to say it's just plain white, but it's not. Well, I'm not getting anything right today. Like I said, I'm going to fold this in half. You're only making one. I'm doing 2 because I'm doing 2 journals. All right. Now, I want this to be tag shaped, but I also want to decorate the front. Now, I just happen to have a piece of scrapbook paper that had some cut aparts on it, and I thought You know what? This would work really good. Actually, I might trim this one down. Might trim both of them down. Okay, I think I'm gonna glue that. But you could put anything on here. Packaging from some sewing ephemera, little image, some stamping, whatever you want to do. And I'm going to trim this down because I've decided I'm going to do that. I'm going to try again. Nope. That's better. So I want to make this look tag shaped. Okay, and I'm going to sew around that. And that's done. So I have just wrapped this double tag around that front page and put a little paper clip on it. This one, I changed it up a bit. So I fussy cut around the scissors and stamped snip, snip, snip on it. And because I had a piece of leftover black lace on my desk, I made another little pocket on the back here. Might as well use it up. So just put that paper clip back on. There we go. And let's get the stuff for the next page. Next up, we're going to use a page from a textbook. So for the TN size, I'm actually using a page from an encyclopedia that has an image of the first Singer sewing machine. So I will be trimming the margins off, but it will be page 32, 33 and page 42, 43. For the bigger size with signatures, this will be going into signature 2. This is a textbook page from a home economics text. So signature 2, page 5 and 6, and page 19, 20. This also is going to need a little bit of trimming to fit. So it would be nice if we could get that Singer sewing machine in the middle. So that's 4 inches. You know what? I think we're going to be out of luck. So I'm just going to trim off around the borders. And because this page has borders, I'm not lining it up with the edge of the paper. I'm lining up my ruler with the border itself, because printing is sometimes not done squarely on the page. Sometimes it's a little cockeyed. No. I think that one's going to be okay. We'll do this one as well. So my page must be less than 8 7/8. Whoops. In order to fit. So we're 8 3/4. That's perfect. And it must be less than 5 3/4. And we're perfect. Wow. I'm shocked. I think I will give that a little bit of washi tape. Not because it's in really tough shape right now, but because it is older. I thought I was going to have to trim that. I was all prepared. So I just use washi tape, but I add some glue stick to it so that it's permanently adhered, not just temporary. And one side is plenty. You don't need to do both. That's amazing. And you know, I've got this washi tape out. Let's just, so I think this is 1920s, so it's nearly 100 years old. Trim off. All right. Oh, I think we've got time for one more page. Let me clear off the decks here. Okay, so this time we're using lined paper. Now in my initial prototype, I had used vintage lined paper that I had tea dyed. It was like sort of an ivory color. But I had this is also vintage. So I decided to use this yellow just to add a pop of color. So this page was, you know, an ordinary 8.5 by 11. So I folded it in half and trimmed it up to 8 1/4 inch height. This page I didn't have to trim anything. I just folded it in half. So in the TN size, this is page 24-25 and page 50-51. And in the bigger journal with signatures, this is signature 2, page 9, 10, 15, and 16. Okay, so what I want to do is on the front page, I want to make a little fabric collage. And I haven't decided whether I want to use 3 fabrics or 2 fabrics. I sort of had these two pulled. So this is a blue with yellow polka dots. And this has got yellow and blue. But I thought maybe I'd bring in this pink as well. It has a pattern on the opposite side, but I sort of just like it plain. So, pinking shears are right here. I want to make sure I get some blue in here. And it could be I'm only going to use 2 fabrics on this smaller piece. We'll see. This polka dot is a vintage fabric that I got at, I believe I got it at an auction. And I got a chunk of it, and I've never used it. So today is the day. And it's very thin, which is good. It doesn't bulk up the book too much. What do you think of that? Or should I do something a little more geometric? Oh, I kind of like that better. Yeah. And I will do some hand stitches here. This is button and carpet thread, so it's really thick. Now, if I can find a needle, I'm going to be all set. Whoops! The stitches don't have to be perfect. In fact, it might look better if they're sort of messy. But if you want perfect stitches, let me show you how to do that. So you're going to open this up and find a ruler. In fact, if I had my broken ruler, there's my broken ruler. And then just poke every quarter of an inch or so. Okay. And then move that. You know what? I wanted to have that knot on the top. Let's try that again. You could certainly add machine stitches. or just, sufficiently glue the scraps down so that you don't need any stitches. Okay, let me finish this so you don't have to be bored by my stitching. I'll be right back. Okay, got the stitches done. Just going to, I've chosen a button and glued it on there with some Fabri-Tac. I'm just going to stitch it down and then we'll call it done. Oops, I went through the wrong hole. There we go. Okay, so there we are, page 24, 25, page 50, 51. If you're not happy with how this looks with the stitching, add a little journaling block box with some extra paper or something. If you, like, for example, if you have this left over, you just cover that up. And in the bigger one, I was able to use slightly bigger pieces of fabric, obviously, and that's signature to page 9, 10, 15, and 16. All right, we got a lot done today. Got 4 pages done. Thanks so much for joining me. Come back tomorrow, and I think we are going to be able to finish all of our pages. Take care. We'll talk to you again soon.